In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on March 29, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Pistons versus Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets will look to improve their playoff positioning by avoiding an upset against the Detroit Pistons on Tuesday night at the Barclays Center. Detroit is coming off a narrow 104-102 home loss to the New York Knicks on Sunday to cover as a 4.5 points underdog, while falling to 20-55 on the season, tied for worst in the East. Brooklyn is currently in 9th place at 39-36 after losing 119-110 to the Charlotte Hornets on Sunday as a 7-point home favorite. All 3 previous meetings this season have gone in favor of the Nets, with Detroit covering the spread in one of those. Brooklyn has won 5 straight head-to-head meetings, but Detroit still leads the all-time regular season series 109-78. The Pistons are 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 road games, and 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 games playing on one day's rest. The Nets are 22-9 against the spread in their last 31 Tuesday games, and 5-22-1 against the spread in their last 28 home games. The under is 9-4 in Pistons' last 13 overall. The under is 5-2 in Nets' last 7 games as a favorite. The Pistons are 4-9 against the spread in the last 13 meetings in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the better team, but they didn't live up to expectations this season, while Detroit has started to play better and be in competitive games. The Nets have struggled at home this season, and they are a terrible 30-43-2 against the spread this season, while Detroit is 40-33-2. The Brooklyn Nets are obviously head and shoulders the better team here and could blow the doors off, but they haven't done that consistently this season, and they only win in the favorite role by an average of 3 points. Also, the Detroit Pistons have quietly played some good ball these last few weeks, and they've covered 15 of their last 18 games. The Nets are 9-26-1 against the spread at home this year. The Pistons are solid defensively and can cause some fits for the Nets, so the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. We've seen most of Detroit's recent games end with around 200 combined points as the defense continues to play well, and even though Brooklyn is a better team offensively than defensively, it has trended heavily towards the under lately as well. The Pistons are getting better in several facets offensively, but ultimately remains the worst shooting team in the NBA with a 49.2 effective field goal percentage, and not having Grant available is important for a roster with limited scoring depth. Brooklyn's offense is good, yet far from elite at 11th in both effective field goal percentage and rating, while sometimes struggling even with both Irving and Durant in the lineup. Detroit has shown an ability to get into slugfests even against high-powered offenses. Brooklyn plays at a pace of 101.5, which ranks 10th, while Detroit plays at a pace of 100.9, which ranks 12th. However, both teams have struggled to hit the needed shots as well. They both have underrated defenses. In Brooklyn's last 6 games, they are averaging 230 points, but Detroit is averaging just 223 in their last 6 games. The Nets have the offense to score a ton, but the Pistons have not had an opponent score over 120 points in their last 5. They will have the defense to be able to keep this close. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Lakers versus Dallas Mavericks. Los Angeles will try to pull off an upset when it travels to Dallas on Tuesday night. The Lakers have lost 2 straight games and have lost 6 of their last 8 games overall. Dallas has won 3 of its last 4 contests, including a 114-100 win over Utah on Sunday. Looking at the betting trends, the Lakers are 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 road games, 5-1 against the spread in their last 7 games against a team above .600, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The Mavericks are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games and 15-7-1 against the spread in their last 23 games overall. Head-to-head, the under is 9-4 in the last 13 meetings overall, and the Lakers are 0-3-1 against the spread in the last 4 meetings overall. The Lakers suffered a critical loss to the New Orleans Pelicans on Sunday. They come into this tilt with Dallas holding a 1-game lead over the San Antonio Spurs on the 10th and final play in spot spot with 8 games remaining. To make matters worse, LeBron James twisted his ankle during the second quarter Sunday and was in considerable pain when speaking to reporters after the game. The Mavericks are looking to cement the 4th seed and get a Lakers team allowing 114 points per game. Los Angeles is 5-11 against the spread in their last 16 games. The Los Angeles Lakers aren't a good team and can't be trusted at full strength, and now they're going to be without LeBron for this contest. While the Mavericks are still missing Tim Hardaway Jr., Sterling Brown, and Theo Pinson, the Dallas Mavericks have quietly been one of the hotter teams in the league over these last few weeks, and they're a profitable 21-17 against the spread at home. Thick number that's increased a lot since the announcement of LeBron being out. But backing the Lakers still isn't an option these days. The Lakers haven't been able to get anything going, and they're now a massive chance to miss the play-in tournament. Coupled with LeBron's status in doubt and how brutal they have been defensively, this looks like an easy game for the Mavericks. The Lakers need this win more, but there's no way I'm going past the Mavericks, who should dominate in this one. So the Dallas Mavericks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Dallas is at its best when its defense is clicking on all cylinders. The Mavericks rank second in the NBA in points allowed per game and have now gone under the total in 5 of their last 6 games. They tend to ramp up the defensive intensity in front of their home crowd, going under in 5 straight home games. Los Angeles could be without James on Tuesday night, which would severely hamper its offense. The Lakers should bring a strong defensive effort though, as this is another critical game down the stretch for them in the standings. Dallas plays at the slowest pace in the NBA coming into the stretch run of the season. Luka Doncic has been lights out in half-court sets, and Jalen Brunson has really come into his own playing alongside the superstar guard. The Lakers are 7th in pace, but they will have a hobbled LeBron James if he is cleared to play. The total number has gone under in 5 straight home games for Dallas, and 9 of their last 13 games against the Lakers. This looks like a low-scoring, slow defensive grind with Luka dominating the ball and whoever the Lakers throw at him. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Utah Jazz vs. Los Angeles Clippers. The Utah Jazz will conclude their 6-game road trip with this tilt against the Clippers. After an opening win over the Knicks, the Jazz lost the next 4 and are now hoping to avoid the 5th consecutive defeat. The Los Angeles Clippers are already there. They lost each of the last 5 games, and we could say that both teams are going through their worst periods of the campaign. These Western Conference rivals have met twice this season, and Utah won both duels, covering the spread on each occasion. Over the previous 10 head-to-head encounters, each team recorded 5 victories. The Utah Jazz are averaging 113 points on 47% shooting and allowing 108 points on 45.3% shooting. The Utah Jazz are shooting 36.3% from beyond the arc and 77.7% from the free throw line. The Utah Jazz are allowing 34.8% shooting from deep and are grabbing 46.1 rebounds per game. The Los Angeles Clippers are averaging 107 points on 45.3% shooting and allowing 108 points on 45% shooting. The Los Angeles Clippers are shooting 36.4% from beyond the arc and 78.9% from the free throw line. The Los Angeles Clippers are allowing 34.6% shooting from deep and are grabbing 44 rebounds per game. The Jazz are 4-16-1 against the spread in their last 21 road games and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. The Clippers are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games and 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The under is 4-1 in Jazz last 6 overall. The under is 7-3 in Clippers last 10 overall. The Jazz are 0-4 against the spread in the last 4 meetings in Los Angeles and 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 meetings. Neither of these teams are playing well, so it's hard to pick a side in this contest. However, we're getting a free point with the more trustworthy and healthier team in the Jazz. Even at home, I'm not sure how the Los Angeles Clippers are favored here, given that they've lost 5 straight and are losing by an average of 16 points during that span. Even with Gobert questionable, the Clippers have been in a season-worst slump, especially after getting dismantled by the 76ers in their last outing. The Jazz still have enough firepower to get the win even with all the injuries, so the Utah Jazz to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game total pick. The Jazz are still the best team in the league when it comes to offensive rating, but their offense is not playing well of late. Utah failed to score more than 106 points in each of its previous 4 games and didn't score more than 101 in the last 3. Without Bogdanovic, Gobert, and Whiteside, it's hard to score from both distance and interior. The Clippers have a solid home defense. While both teams belong in the top 10 in defensive rating, so I expect a tight game with a low amount of points. Los Angeles offense is also struggling recently. The Clippers failed to score more than 100 points in 3 of the last 4 games. The Jazz are averaging 113 points per game and 110 points per game on the road. They struggled in their last 4 road games, averaging 101 points per game. They are facing a Clippers team that is giving up 108 points per game at home and will be held under their average in this game. The Clippers are averaging 107 points per game and 108 points per game at home. They averaged 109 points per game in their last 3 games against the Jazz. With Utah giving up 109 points per game on the road, the Clippers won't score enough points to push the score over the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.